Hello, I'm Libby Hill. I just wanted to pop on here to talk about the different report types that we do, because I know it can be confusing when you log on and have a look at the list of reports. So the first one we do is the initial assessment and report. So this report flows so that all aspects are covered. So attention, listening, verbal comprehension, expressive language, social skills, interaction, maybe speech. And we allocate an hour and a half for this assessment, and we allocate an hour and a half for the report. So we discuss what support is needed going forwards, and it informs where to go next. So what does the child need? It's comprehensive, and it's great to share with school and nursery. What we don't do is read other people's reports and cross-reference them, because we haven't allocated time for that. It's just our opinion as a speech and language therapist. Anyone in the team is qualified and very capable to do these initial assessment reports. It's the bread and butter of a speech and language therapist. For any HCP report, there's not all the therapists who are experienced enough or have enough knowledge of the process to be able to do these reports. It's written in a different way because it has to take into account the SEN process. So we have tweaked this and developed this over a number of years now, really since 2014, where the new code of practice came in. So we have an executive summary, which contains your section B. So that's your strengths and description of needs. And we put it very early in the report to make it easy for anyone to see. So they don't have to skip through to the back. It's right there in the front. And then what we do is so any of the needs that we've identified for section B, we will have an outcome for section E. And we also have the provision to meet that outcome. So that's section F. So provision should meet each and every need identified in section B. So it should be really tight. Each area is then looked at in detail. So it's talking about what evidence have we found to lead to those conclusions. We also know that you have come for an assessment because you want to know more about your child and you want a good understanding of where they're at and what you can do to do that. So that's why we add detail. So many HCP reports are very short and they just talk about the difficulties, but we actually want to detail our findings in that report. So those who do the HCP reports need knowledge about the system and the process. We have to read and consider all the other reports. I like to cross-reference. So anything that I'm identifying, I like to cross-reference with what other people have found for that particular area. And we also have a much bigger conclusion. So, what educational needs does this speech and language and communication difficulty give us? So we allocate 2 hours for the assessment session, at least 1 to read the other reports, and at least 4 for the report. So you can see that we spend much more time with you, and we spend much more time looking at the bigger picture and putting their speech, language, and communication need in context. So this takes us so much longer to be able to write. Now, for a tribunal report, this is what you need if you're going for a paper-based tribunal or a face-to-face tribunal or an online tribunal. So it could be refusal to assess, or it could actually be refusal to issue, as well as for those tribunals that are looking for settling sections B, E, F, and even I. Now, the tribunal report is really very, very thorough. And what we do is peer review it, so that one of the other staff will go through and say, okay, justify that. Why did you say that? How could you come to that conclusion? So we will have answered the possible questions before it actually gets to the tribunal. We want it to be tight. If you know you're going to tribunal, go for that one straight away. If you have had an EHCP one done and it does go to tribunal within 12 months, we can add an addendum if required, or a critique of any other reports just for an hourly rate. So I hope that's made it a little bit easier for you to choose which assessment appointment that you need. But obviously, we're always happy to discuss it further. So do let me know. And let me know if that was clear or whether I do need to be adding anything. Thanks for listening.